Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome. Thanks for coming and hanging out and staring at laser patterns with me. So, yeah, if you're here live, welcome. Thank you. If you're here afterwards, you might want to skip ahead a little bit. We're just getting going. We'll give it a minute. Hello, Irving. Good to see you, my friend. Dustin, what's going on, buddy? Great to see you guys, and thanks for being here. Paula, hello, hello. Great to see you, Paula. Thanks for being here. I got all my stuff listed for sale. That's new. And now I just need someone to buy it within the next 36 hours so that I can continue to exist. So we'll see how that goes. So thank you guys for being here. I hope you're having a great day or had a great day, depending on what time it is where you are. I've had kind of a frustrating day, and I'm tired of frustrating days. I'm trying to put my best foot forward. I'm trying to smile and, just move forward as best I can. But it's difficult when I get a lot of resistance, and that's what I was dealing with today. But I don't know. There's still plenty of time. Well, I don't want to say there's plenty of time for things to go right, but there's still a little bit of time for things to go right. What's up, Las Vegas E-Rides? Good to see you, buddy. He'll be in Amarillo, Texas at 10 tonight. I'm going to try and catch up on a couple of his posts and streams. I think that's very exciting that he's making so much progress. That's an incredibly long way to go on such a little scooter. And he's loaded down with all of his gear and everything, so that's quite an adventure that he's on right now, and good for him. I'm so happy that it's working out, and he's more or less staying on schedule. He's getting everywhere that he expected to. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought he would have made it along so fast, so far. I don't know. That's really incredible. So shout out to Slow 49, Brandon. It's awesome. It's awesome what he's doing right now. So I hope everybody is following his journey. So anyway, I'm sitting here waiting, hoping to get to that notification sound that somebody wants to come buy a bike or something. I'm just like stuck at the mercy of people buying things. I'm not well. I seem to be dying a little faster now. I hate to say it. I hate to put it out there like that, but my body has kind of made me aware of that now. It's like it's catching up. It's going a little faster, and there's really nothing I can do about it. So that's kind of depressing to think about. I'm not trying to bum you guys out, though. I'm just having a really rough day, and I'm ready for a couple things to go a little more right. But I hope you guys are doing well. And, there's a lot of good things that can always happen. And there's a bike ride to look forward to tomorrow. If it doesn't get washed out, there's rain in the forecast tonight and much of the day tomorrow, which is also kind of depressing. But we always need it in Vegas, but there's a lot of other things I really need to do Um, so I don't know, but I was hoping you could. Irving, be great to see you again soon. But what was I gonna say? Can't remember right now. Checking notifications. Hold on. Oh wow. My money in PayPal savings earned 12 cents in interest. I can relax now. Isn't that incredible? They notified me to tell me that my money just made 12 cents. So now it's smooth sailing now, guys. Taking it easy from here. I never have to work a day again in my life. Hello, Alyssa. Let's see. Uh, yeah, I don't know, Dustin. Sometimes there's I don't know. You never know how that's gonna turn out. Hey, Carrie. Good to see you. Hope you're doing okay. Heard you might be sick again, and I hope not. Oh wow, Paula, crazy weather, huh? It was windy and rainy here. It was supposed to be sunny, or like at least like mostly sunny and not raining. But what are you gonna do? Yeah, 12 cents, right? I can take it easy now. No worries about paying the bills at all. That's probably good advice, Alyssa. Like, I don't know the situation, but usually it's been my experience that when a relationship runs its course, um, there's little to do about it after that. But again, Dustin, I don't know your situation, how things worked out or ended or whatever. So you never know. I know a guy that's been married uh, for a very long time now to a girl that broke up with him, and they're happy together. So I suppose it's possible. But for me, when it's the end of a relationship, it's the end of a relationship. Thea, we're just talking and staring at laser patterns. I'm sorry to hear that, Carrie. That sucks. I hope you get better soon. Hold on, I'm missing this. Yeah, Big Boys PV. Hello. Sorry, I try not to miss anybody here. Um, Hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, I hope you get well soon. Carrie, sorry you're still sick. That sucks. I don't think I've ever had it for that long before. But I have been really sick with the flu before a couple times in my life, and that it's never good. There's never anything good about the flu or being sick. So I hope you feel better soon. But I need a lot of things to go right over here on my end in the very near future. I'm really starting to worry. My Uber account still is not active. It's been over 24 hours. It should happen within the next 24 hours. But hey, what's up? So still waiting on that, and that's killing me. I mean, I could have made a little money with that anyway in the last few days. So I get that they're cautious, Uber, but I've been with them for like 8 years now, and they should know at this point that it's not an issue. Yeah, but I'm not gonna have time to earn enough money. You know, Irving, I kind of needed it to happen sooner. I've got deadlines that I'm not gonna meet. And there's just really nothing I can do about it at this point. I can't think of a way to make it happen in time. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't have any more strings to pull. All the flip bikes that I have right now are listed for sale, bike parts, everything. Um, I don't know. So, it's too late. It's too late for me. I need a miracle, and I don't know if I'm going to get one this time. But I don't know. It's been a pretty trying day for me in that regard, too. Like with my health, most of you guys know the story, but it's really like things are really progressing now. I try not to think about it. I try not to let it bother me, but it's all coming apart, and there's nothing I can do. And that makes it hard because I'm trying my best and just trying to get by, and probably not going to live a whole lot longer. And I don't know. I need to catch a break, I guess. I don't know, but I'm trying not to get down. I'm trying not to feel bad about it. I'm trying not to think about it, but I'm constantly reminded of it. I was doing all right for a while, really I was. Um and my body is getting stronger. My muscles and my cardiovascular system are getting a lot stronger again from riding bikes all the time, but other things are getting worse, and there doesn't seem to be anything that I can do. Thank you, Renee. Thank you for being here. I'm glad to see you. So I don't know. I'm trying to think about good things, but there just aren't a lot of good things right now. So, but who knows? Well, trying not to think dark, but I'm dying of cancer, and it's happening a little faster now. So it's hard not to feel bad and down sometimes. Maybe, maybe you're right. I don't know. Like so far, I guess everything has been okay, for the most part. But I'm worried maybe it won't be now, and there's a limit to what I can do about it. Uh, I'm trying not to let it. I mean, it is what it is. I've known for a while now that my life is going to be cut short, and there's just not a whole lot I can do. But there's more that I want to do. I don't want it to be over yet. Anyway, yeah. No, I haven't even eaten today. I mean, I'm too far behind. I can't think about food. I got to come up with the rent money. So I'd be happy to eat anything at all. I'm trying to, Big Boys PV. It's just been like today's been one huge kick in the nuts, and I've tried really hard to get something going, and it's really kind of a desperate situation right now, and there's nothing I can seem to make work, and my insides are falling out, and I don't know, it's kind of scary sometimes, and I'm trying to deal with it. Sorry. But anyway, it's supposed to be cold here tomorrow for April. That's not good, really. Thanks. Anybody who's here, thanks for hanging out tonight. This is just kind of random. But it's always nice to get to spend some time with you guys, and I'm hoping to get some action on the bikes that I put up for sale today. It'd be great if I can get something going with that before it's too late. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna try, but yeah, I just can't right now. I mean, I'm pretty much screwed at this point, and maybe it's my fault that I'm in the position that I'm in. But I figured kind of after a cancer diagnosis that maybe things would be easier somehow. Like I don't know. Like life wouldn't be as hard as a result of that because I'm not able to do as much. But I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So let's see, what else is there? I want to take some bike rides while I still can. And want to talk to some of you guys about that, like those of you that I ride with and, might ride with at some point. I want that to be my legacy. I've decided after I'm gone, like I want like some kind of yearly bike ride or something to keep occurring that I started. That's what I'm trying to get going right now. I'm trying to make it work. So, yeah, but I'm kind of like, I would have called in sick to a job today, anything. Like, I have days where I just can't do much, Dustin. And there's going to be a lot more of those. Appreciate it, Emil. Thanks, everybody, for being here and doing what you do. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to bum anybody out. I'm just having a rough day, and I'm trying to get past it. But things are kind of heavy right now. I appreciate it. Just trying to keep going. But it's going to be tough. I don't have reliable ways to earn money at the moment. I couldn't hold a job in my condition anymore. I've been looking at things that maybe I can do, but there just doesn't seem to be anything that quite works. I'm not opposed to doing things, but there's a limit to what I'm able to do anymore. No, there's an idea, Dustin, and I want to do something like that benefits. I want to do a ride that benefits a good cause, but it's like a good thing for people to go out and do anyway. And after I'm gone, I want people to still do that ride. I appreciate that, Irving. No, I mean, it's always good to have someone to talk to, and I appreciate you guys for that. We got a good group going here, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. But I don't know, soon, and we're talking about this last night. Soon, I think I want to take the bike behind me to Prim in California. Then I want to take the same bike to Arizona and Utah, not in the same trip, but separately. But I think probably the downtown Las Vegas to Prim ride is what I want. I want it to be like an annual thing, and it benefits some cause, and I don't know, people come out and do it every year. I don't know. It starts this year. We're doing the first one soon. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, trying to. Emil, that's, I wanted to ride, before it got too hot in Las Vegas, I wanted to ride from here in downtown to Santa Monica, but I might have to postpone that just because of the cost of it until the end of summer when it's not terribly hot anymore, early fall. Um, I hate to, but like I don't know, there only seems to be so much that I can put together. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me, Dustin. I don't know. People will point their fingers at somebody for doing something and then go out and do something much worse. So, I don't know. I gotta figure out a way to keep a roof over my head. I'm short of that right now. I have 36 hours approximately to come up with another $194. And that seems like a long shot considering my options right now. But should I be fortunate to get to continue to exist with a roof over my head, fortunate enough to get to continue to exist with a roof over my head, I can probably figure out a way to do that bike ride to Prim. Other people are already interested in doing that. At least a dozen people that have heard me say it want to be a part of this. And it's just like a crazy idea right now, just something I was going to do to tide us over until I can do the Santa Monica ride, but now that seems to be the one that everybody wants to be a part of, which is cool with me. Hold on. Yeah, true. What's up, everybody that's here, and thanks for being here, and hope everybody's doing okay. Let's see. Likewise, Emil. No, without the necessary resources, Dustin, I'll not make it. Yeah, but I mean, my health kind of requires me to have a home right now. I mean, I probably don't have to have a home for a whole lot longer because I can't imagine I'm gonna be around a whole lot longer. But under the circumstances, I gotta have a roof over my head. It doesn't have to be great, but I won't exist without one in the condition I'm in now. But I'm just getting no action on things for sale. It's a little optimistic to think that that's going to happen in time. It takes me on average 7 to 10 days to sell a flip bike, and I do not have that kind of time. But I don't know, like without Uber Eats, I can't donate blood. I can't, do any of that sort of stuff. Can't donate anything medically. I don't know, the things that people would normally do around here in a pinch. I took a bike to 3 different pawn shops today, and none of them would buy it. So I don't know. I don't see any other strings to pull right now, and the clock is ticking. But you never know. It's too soon to give up, I guess. But I don't know. Looks like it might rain some more tonight, which might have an effect on the would-be ride that some of the crew is going on tonight. I hope it doesn't get in the way, but my phone recently notified me saying it's supposed to rain around 7:30. And, but like yesterday, there was no mention of rain in the forecast. So it's been kind of crazy around here with that lately. It was a long dry period with no rain at all, and then all of a sudden here comes random rainstorms. Small ones, but still. It's good though, we can use it. So let's see, what time is it? Hey Joe, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. So let's see if I can get my Uber Eats going again by this time tomorrow, which they said is as long as it's gonna take. And I can somehow get the rent taken care of, then I think I'll be all right. But like figuring out how to close this gap right now is really driving me nuts. And had a lot of people had, I don't know, like between the two bikes that I listed on Marketplace today before I started this live stream, I had, I don't know, 40 or so clicks on the listings, but none of them, nobody saved the listing. I priced both of the bikes pretty low for what they are. And, because nobody's buying anything right now unless it's cheap. So I made them cheap, but just not getting any action on this stuff right now. I think everybody's worried about tomorrow, what kind of effects that's going to have on markets and everything, and how much more are cars going to cost. I don't know. So it's a tough time to try and sell things, I guess. Or seems to be the case, anyway. I don't think so, Dustin. I think they're doing fine. It's just all the things that they make you do every so often take a lot longer than they used to. Like the background check, which you have to do every year, took several days this year. And then it's making me do my driver's license again, which I just did because I just got it renewed like 4 months ago. So I don't know. I mean, they make you do a lot of stupid stuff, but usually it works. And they do, like it's still a thing. I still, let's see, where were we the other day? Where was I? No, the last time we were at Roberto's, there were a lot of people coming in and getting Uber Eats orders. When we went last week, Shane and I, after the ride. I still see people picking up orders. Where was I recently? Where I saw a bunch of people come in at once or around the same time. So it's still a thing. It doesn't pay like it used to is the problem. Like most of the offers that I get are not they're not good enough. There are some that are okay, but I don't know. You're never going to get rich doing Uber Eats around here, not anymore. I know some of you might have seen some channels around here that would indicate that people are doing well. And some people with DoorDash, especially, and somebody at DoorDash told me this, they will play favorites. They do have a means to do that within their system. They can go to like a Las Vegas food delivery influencer, for instance, and make things look better than they actually are, if you will. I should do a video about that, about the couple of liars in Las Vegas that are acting like things are really good with food delivery around here, when they're getting special treatment. So that's a topic of discussion for another day. But it was someone at DoorDash, someone who works for DoorDash, that told me about that. Uh, well, here in Vegas, they're supposed to pay us a certain amount. We were never supposed to make less than a certain amount of money per hour. That was their deal with city, county, and state officials in Nevada. But DoorDash and Uber Eats have not held up their end of the bargain at all. Man, there's nothing sold on eBay. No messages about stuff I have for sale on Marketplace. Just, I need it now. Like, it's got to happen now, or I'm in a lot of trouble. There is no more time. Yeah. Well, I know I haven't made anything close to like now. I think in Vegas, uh, like Clark County, if you're delivering food according to the state or county people, as independent contractors, we have to make, if we're using a vehicle, even a bicycle, we have to make at least 16.25 an hour is what it is. That's what someone was telling me. And that does not happen with DoorDash and Uber Eats anymore around here, consistently anyway. You might get that sometimes, but so I don't know how they're getting away with it. Anyway, come on. I gotta get something sold. or I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what the hell can I do. In the amount of time that I have, there doesn't seem to be a lot of options. There are a lot less people in Nevada because most of Nevada is not populated. Let's see. Well, I don't know. This sure looks bad. I'm just sitting here praying for a miracle. I got a couple of good bikes that somebody should come by. I should be able to do Uber Eats, but nothing goes through in a timely manner anymore. Hopefully by tomorrow, but then, that still doesn't help me. That still doesn't give me enough time. If I make it over this little hurdle, I should be alright, but I don't know. This is a frustrating situation, and I'm so tired of being in this position, but, you know, and a lot of people say, well, why don't you do more? You seem like you can do bike rides and everything, but, right now I'm dying. I'm literally dying. My insides are falling out. I'm bleeding internally a lot. I shouldn't have gone and done anything today. Oh, wow. That's awesome. So I don't know. I hate to be in this position now, but I think I have to find some help. I don't know what to do. I don't want to get treated for cancer or anything. I don't care about that. I need some help being able to get through life and pay my bills and try to, make the best of what I got left. And I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I've tried a couple of things and it didn't work out, and now I don't know. I need some help. Not a lot of help, just a little, just a nudge or two once in a while. I can still almost do for myself, but not quite like I did. Yeah, well, I mean, anybody who puts all their eggs in the food delivery basket now is stupid. Let's be honest about it. If all you do is deliver food on apps, you're crazy. Um, because it keeps getting worse for us and better for the people who run the apps. Uh, so I would never do it as the only thing that I do, but you can make a little money with it here and there. But it's not, and they'll tell you, DoorDash and Uber will say, this isn't meant to replace your job, it's meant to be a supplement to your regular income. What's up, Mike? Well, I'm gonna get evicted in like 36 hours, Mike. It's bad. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Walls are closing in, but I'm dying. literally and figuratively, and there's no money coming in right now. But I'm glad you're here anyway. But, I just don't know what to do right now. For the most part, I can make it on my own, but every now and then I need a little bit of help, and I guess I have to just ask for it now and say, sorry, I'm, I'm not as good as I was, and I'm falling apart, and I need a little help now and then. But I don't know where to get it right now is the problem, and maybe I've waited too long. Uh, I've talked to the Social Security people, and they said I need to hire a lawyer. They said, get someone in your family to loan you the money to get a lawyer, and then you can pay them back when, you know, uh, like you'll get a lump sum of Social Security checks, payouts after like 6 or 8 months. And, like if I could afford to borrow enough to get a Social Security disability lawyer, um, I could eat and keep a roof over my head. If I could get someone to loan me the money for that, I could get them to just, help me out with a little bit here and there to keep going. And when I applied for food assistance, and they said get the health care too, the Medicaid, and I said okay. And then they accused me of trying to defraud them, and then when I went back to them and talked to them and said, here's, this is the story, I'm not trying to defraud you, I just, I make a little bit of money here, I make a little bit of money here, I make a little bit of money here, and so on. And I said, well, you can't do all these things and receive assistance. And I said, well, I'm trying not to be a burden. I'm trying not to need assistance, but I'm coming up short. And they said, well, you got to stop doing some of these things. You got to close your DoorDash account or Uber Eats account and stuff like that. It's like, well, then, like you guys aren't going to give me enough. You guys aren't going to fill in the gaps if I get rid of those things. So yeah, well, I would think that, dying would qualify me, Mike, but for some reason it doesn't seem to. But it would be nice if I could get that to work out at this point. And like I said, I don't need a lot. I just need a little nudge once in a while. I'm doing all right for the most part. But just, coming up short once in a while. And sometimes there are just days that go by where I'm pretty much unable to get out of bed. And there are going to be a lot more of those in the future, unfortunately. So, I don't know. I mean, there's got to be a way. Shouldn't there be, like for someone who's not trying to be a burden but just needs a little bit of help, but you go and you talk to people and they give you the runaround and say, well, you're not going to get it because of this or whatever. I don't know. I've seen people, I've witnessed this before in my life. People that have never lifted a finger, never tried, never bothered, never done anything in their lives. And they just get carried. you know. I'm not doing great right now, but I'm still trying. I still get out of bed in the morning whenever possible and put my best foot forward. But, some people never do anything at all and they have everything taken care of all the time. And I don't even want that. I just let me keep doing what I'm doing and maybe get a helping hand once in a while. But I don't know, it seems like it's all or nothing. And I don't really agree with that because like I said, I'm not useless yet. I'm not used up yet. I'm not dead yet. I can still do for myself to some degree. Well, I don't get any medical attention at all. Anyway, I don't know. It's all broken. It works for some, I guess, and other people just kind of exploit available systems. I don't know. It kind of seems like it, Big Boys PV, but what about the guy who's trying his best and dying of cancer and just needs a little bit once in a while, you know? Why is that such a problem? I paid into the system. I should be able to get some help. But anyway, I just hate this feeling right now. The walls closing in feeling, just like knowing that I've done pretty much everything that I can think of to possibly do, and it's still just not likely to be enough in time. And that just makes it so much worse. I really hate that, and I'm trying to figure out how to get past that. If I can just get enough help to get past that, like the money that I've paid into the system, if they can just give me a little bit of it back once in a while, like, hey, I've come up a little bit short this month. Can I get X amount? But look at all these things that I've done. Look at all this money that I've raised. Considering the fact that I'm dying of cancer and colitis, but whatever, you know. But yeah, that would exist in a perfect world, I suppose. And I guess this will never be that. Again, I should have a working Uber Eats account or Uber driver account by tomorrow night at the latest, according to them. But that doesn't really help. I gotta have the money on Thursday morning. So, I don't know. Is there anything that anyone knows of anywhere where an unemployed guy with cancer can go to get $200 and continue to exist? Yeah, well, greed, I'm glad you brought that up, Dustin. And I don't normally like to talk about this kind of stuff, but greed, I mean, if you open your eyes and take a look around, it's plainly obvious that greed has taken over. Greed controls the world now at the expense of all the rest of us that just want to go on about our lives. But, what are we to do about it? They've got the money, they've got the power, they decide how things go. Uh, uh, no good news and notifications at all. Just been one of those days, I guess. I hope tomorrow is just the opposite of this, or it's not going to be good. I gotta pull a decent chunk of money out of thin air tomorrow. And I don't know if I have any more of those kinds of magic tricks left. I expect tomorrow's going to be a pretty rough day for selling things because everybody's going to be watching markets and seeing how the world is reacting to, I don't know, certain new policies. So it makes it tough for the guy trying to sell stuff. But you never know. You never know. I wish I could do that plasma thing. Somebody was talking to me about that in the building today. They're like, dude, you should donate plasma. I was like, well, you see, I have ulcers that are bleeding and I'm dying of cancer, so sorry I can't. But I absolutely would if I could. That would be a good way to get half of the money I need right now. So what happens when you don't have that option? Is there something that I've overlooked? I don't know. This is going to keep me awake tonight. I haven't eaten today. I'm not going to sleep tonight. I'm bleeding to death right now. It's been a rough day. And it's not over yet. Then there's crackheads screaming in the alleyway. The world isn't fair, Dustin. You know, society went wrong by thinking that only certain people, certain types of people really need help. But it's not about doing the right thing anymore. It's just about keeping us complacent enough that they can still, the powers that be can still do what they do. Uh, Thank you, Irving. Yeah. Irving knows where I live. He's been here. He's seen it. I'm just trying to keep a roof over my head in a terrible neighborhood as I die of cancer. I don't know why that seems to be too much to ask. Hey, Daryl Lynn. Wow. Oh my goodness, Daryl Lynn. But shout out to you. I hope you're doing okay. Um, but why is it so difficult for some of us to get the help that we need, and it's so easy for others? That's the part that's frustrating to me, is that, those of us who legitimately need the help and are really trying our best, just it doesn't seem to work out. I don't know. It's just been my experience. But there are a lot of things wrong in this world today. Um, and I don't know if any of them are ever going to be made right. So, I mean, I guess we can keep plugging along and hope that it all just works out. Well, I believe that military veterans should get treated well, should get all the help that they need, absolutely. Um, and a lot of them don't, which I think is a problem. There are a lot of homeless veterans, which seems ridiculous to me. If you've served in, any branch of the military, made that sacrifice for your country, whatever country you live in, you should always be taken care of. But a lot of American military vets just get cast aside, and that's pretty terrible. And I don't know how that happens. So, it's hard for someone like me. It's selfish for someone like me to complain about the situation that I'm in, because there are military veterans that are dying of cancer right now that can't get the help that they need. And that's disgraceful. But, the way I see it is people that have paid into the system, as have I, that need help should be able to get it. Like, if you really need help, you should be able to get it. That's what it's for. That's what I paid into the system for. But, whatever. What are you going to do? Oh, what's up, JPL Rides? Good to see you, buddy. Wow. Wow, Darylyn. Well, thank you. And, yeah, it's ridiculous that you would ever have any trouble receiving the help that you need. Um, so I don't know. It's life isn't fair. Well, like I was talking about earlier, some people never lift a finger in their entire lives, never try, never bother, and everything just happens for them. Everything gets handed to them. And I wouldn't want that. I would never want that kind of life. But it would be nice to just have what I needed. Is that so wrong for us to feel like we should have what we need? It shouldn't be in question. If you try at all, if you make any kind of effort whatsoever, you should have the basics, like a place to sleep and something to eat, you know? Anybody who tries at all should at least get that much. Oh, I know. But no, I mean, I've paid into the system. That's what it's for. Social Security is when I get in a position like I'm in now, where I can't do for myself the way I once did. I should be able to get the help that I need without a ton of resistance, without having to jump through hoops and hire lawyers and do other ridiculous things. So, but I mean, if you work a job, any job, let's say, in this country or any other, yeah, they absolutely do. JPL rides. Wow. 20 years in the oil field? Goodness. Yeah, can't be good for you. But yeah, social services are terrible in America. It's a shame. Um, but there was a time in this country not too long ago where if you worked a job, any job, you could afford a home, not maybe not like a house to buy, but you could afford a roof over your head and you would always have food to eat. If you worked one job, you could cover your life expenses. And whatever happened to that, that was only, 30, 40 years ago. So, I doubt that it'll ever be like that again. But those must have been some pretty great times. I was a little too young to appreciate it, but I remember it. I remember when a household, an entire household, an entire family could survive off of one source of income. And now, it takes the average family like five sources of income. I don't know. But what's up, Kevin? And yeah, it's the greed. It's the greed that has taken over. Greed has all the power now. The people with all the money have all the power, and we're unfortunately at their mercy. They can control every aspect of our lives. When you think about it, they decide how much we pay for rent. They decide how much we make at our jobs. They decide how much we pay for food and gas. They're in complete control, and all we can do is just kind of deal with it. And take it as it comes, and I hate saying that. I've never been the take it as it comes in that aspect kind of person. I've always been more of like the resist kind, but I can't fight a bunch of billionaires by myself. But when you think about it, any of them, any of the top five richest people in the world could fund a cure for cancer. Any of the top five richest people in the world could end hunger globally without putting a significant dent in their net worth. But they won't, you know? To you as well, JPL rides. Well, trade wars and tariffs are not going to help anybody. They're not going to help Canada, Mexico, or the United States. I've been importing goods since the 1990s, late 90s, and I understand very well how tariffs work. And it's not good for me. It's not good for you. It's good for billionaires, I guess. Um, because, we pay extra and then they get the tax breaks and incentives and everything else. But wow, goodness, man, Darylyn, that's a lot of work at that age. But good for you for doing it. What's going on, Shane? I see you. Yeah, well, I mean, China's not going to suffer because China makes everything that the whole world uses. So China's going to be fine. I mean, China makes a better electric car than we do. Um, China has technology that's decades beyond ours. They're going to be fine. Yeah. Well, back in the 50s, 1950s and 60s, the richest people in America paid up to 90% in taxes. And I'm not saying that we should get into that again, but life was pretty good for average Americans in those days because of the fact that the rich people were taxed more. Um, and you keep hearing about things like, when I was a kid and went to prep school, when we were in Florida, when my dad was working on Disney projects or Universal projects, I went to a prep school in Florida and, just grooming young, successful people and everything. I mean, they would talk about trickle down economics, which is just ridiculous. I'll tell you, here's the long and the short of trickle down economics. We give our money to rich people, they keep it, that's it. That's trickle down economics in a nutshell. That's all it's ever been. And now, like, I hear that being suggested again. Well, if we give more money to the rich people, it's going to benefit people at the bottom. No, it's not. It never has, it never will. It simply doesn't work that way. Well, there was a time in my life, Daryl Lynn, when I got worked to death and made almost nothing for it. I've had a lot of jobs like that. I rather enjoyed some of them. I love hard work, if we're being honest, like challenging, physically demanding jobs. I can't do them anymore, but I used to really love doing those kinds of jobs when I was young, working really hard. Um, but they'll take advantage of you. That's for sure. Yeah. No, I know. It's all like they're in complete control, Shane. Like I was saying earlier, they decide how much we pay for rent, they decide how much we pay for groceries, they decide how much we pay for gas, cars, whatever else. And we're paying like this place that I live in right here knows exactly how much I can pay usually without getting evicted. Now it's going to be close and I need a big miracle in the next 36 hours. But, I mean, I've been in this place for a year and a half now, but they know that I can barely squeeze out this much money to keep this roof over my head. This building and several others, many others in Las Vegas like it, are owned by a corporation that doesn't care. They just want the money, and they know exactly how much they can squeeze out of us. No, working hard for nothing isn't new. I mean, it's kind of always been that way. It seems like the most labor intensive jobs are usually the ones throughout history that have paid the least. But it seems to be the people who do the least that always end up with the most. But, they'll these days, the reason I don't like, I'm not opposed to doing work. If I can find a job that I can do in the, state of health that I'm in right now, I'd probably do it. But one of the main problems that I have, um, just kind of with the workplace in today's world is that, it's specifically designed not to be good for us. They have experts that come in and talk to your boss about how to make things better for the people at the top at your expense, ultimately. How to keep you coming to work, but just give you as little as they possibly can. And a lot of people have just grown to accept it, so it became the norm. It's reality. It's the way it is now. That's what I'm talking about, JPL rides. Why do things have to be so complicated and frustrating? And why does it have to be so apparent now that they're trying to hold us down? Um, why can't we just enjoy our lives and do what we do? Why can't we work as hard as we're able and enjoy our off time, ride our bikes, spend time with our friends, do the things that we enjoy doing? Why is that so wrong? Whatever happened to that? Yeah. Well, I mean, now would be a good time for the whole Skynet scenario to play out, I think. Just come put us out of our freaking misery already, machines. It's gonna happen probably one day. What are you waiting for? I don't know. Overworked and underpaid. That's what it is. It's getting worse. You know, they have departments. Large companies have departments now just to figure out how much money they can save the company at your expense, the employee. How are we going to get you coming to work still to where you can afford your monthly payment on your Toyota Camry and your, mortgage on your 3 bedroom, 2 bath house, and you can barely afford to keep your kids fed and clothed. But, like, how are we going to give you $200 less a month, but still get you coming to work? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? But like, just, if the machines are gonna take over, I wish they'd do it already. Um, I don't know. Yeah, they want you to put in the hours, Dustin, without the benefits. That's what it is. Hey, you can come to work as much as you want for less than you should be getting paid hourly, but you're not going to get any health care, you're not going to get any 401k or any of that stuff. No benefits because you're part time, but you can come work some extra hours if you want to. That sucks. But I remember when I was getting like part-time jobs to kind of fill in the gap and just, like keep busy too. During the recession, I built up my eBay empire huge. I mean, it was just, um, so I feel like, under the circumstances, maybe that can happen again now that we're heading into dark financial times ahead. Um, but what was I going to say? No, I would supplement it and just like kind of go out and enjoy being at work. I was still kind of young. and I would go work part-time jobs, retail restaurants, etc. And around that time was when they're really just trying to cut benefits. Like, you can get maybe more than part-time hours, but you're absolutely not getting any benefits. Um, so I don't know. That's clearly gotten worse since then. And it's getting bad again. 6 months ago, there were now hiring signs in every window in Las Vegas. And now it's only like fast food restaurants and gas stations. There's plenty of jobs that won't keep you afloat. That's it. Lying, cheating, and stealing, Dustin. You know, everybody that's at the top right now, the richest people in the world, had to step on people to get there. You know, it didn't just happen. I know how it works. I maybe could have been one of those. I was a high level manager for a couple of different automotive groups. I was on track. I could have been one of those. But it's horrible. I couldn't do that. My conscience wouldn't allow me to do it that way. I don't mind, you know, maybe one day I'll be rich again. I have the kind of money that I used to have. But if I have to screw anybody over to do it, then no thanks, you know. But, you know, billionaires don't care. They just go and get theirs and they're never satisfied. It's never enough. It's a disease. It's a psychological disorder, actually. Um, but yeah. So they say cheaters never win, but they do. They don't win in the end. They win in this thing that we call life, which is just kind of a stage in the big picture. This is not the end all be all here, you know, but a lot of people think it is, and they live their lives accordingly, and they screw people over to get where they are. And, you know, they might be on top right now, but it's going to cost them in the end. They can't bring it with them. You know, when we die, we're all the same. We we enter with nothing, we leave with nothing. I don't know. I mean, that's another thing, Dustin, is that you know, the powers that be now just don't care anymore about what's good for future generations or not. And that's terrible, I think, because it's like their attitude is just kind of like, screw it, we'll be dead in a few years. So anyone beyond that that has to breathe dirty air and, you know, die of cancer when they're young or something, you know, like that's their problem. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know, Dustin. But there are a lot of big companies that came in and bought most of the real estate in Las Vegas after the recession. And now they can price fix. They can decide what it's worth because it's theirs and they own it all. So why don't they just decide how much it's worth and what they can do with it? It is a good way to fight the system, absolutely, JPL rides. That's why I take a lot of pride in pedaling these days. I'm not supporting any insurance companies. I'm not paying for any vehicle registrations. Right now, I still have a driver's license, but whatever, I still like having the option of driving. Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, not owning a traditional motor vehicle is a great way to stick it to the man, getting around on a pedal bike or an e-bike or scooter or whatever. Still no marketplace notifications. Why isn't anybody buying anything? I got it priced right too. Oh, I gotta sell this stuff. I really have to sell this stuff. I think solid state batteries are getting pretty close, actually, for personal electric vehicles. But I still think, a bicycle, like human powered transportation, is the ultimate life hack in this day and age if you can do it. I talk about this with some of my friends that I ride with a lot when we're out on rides and stuff. When we see people sitting in traffic just pissed off, it's like you're paying $1,500 a month for your car payment and your insurance and the registration and the gas and the upkeep and all of that just so you can sit in traffic and be pissed off. It seems kind of silly. The broken headset on it, I don't know. I got rid of the bike a long time ago with a bad headset. Yeah, I mean, like for now, for me, I can't justify the expense of a car right now. I could be doing Uber rides or something, which I know people are still doing okay with. In a place like Vegas, a lot of people get rides, a lot more than get food delivered. Um, but then there's that huge expense associated with it. So, I mean, the only way I could justify paying for a car right now, like a newer, like a late model, nicer car, like not a fancy car or anything, but like the kind of average new car that you go out and buy, for instance. The only way I could justify it is if I'm doing like Uber or something at this point. But for just getting around, for just driving to work and back, I can't believe people do that anymore. Like, why are you? We talked about this JPL rides, remember the other day. He brought this up, guys. JP did, uh, about how people are just, they're going to work to afford the cars that they drive to work, which is ridiculous. So seems like kind of a wasted step in there somewhere. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Yeah, the green e-bike never worked right. It always had stuff wrong with it because it got smashed up on the way here. Um, but Shane rides the black bike and he's getting tons of good use out of it, and I think that's awesome. They are pretty good bikes, but the green one just came messed up. Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm trying to find remote work because of the situation I'm in. I need some remote work, but the powers that be, now that we're post COVID, have decided that they don't like remote work. That offers us too much freedom. And they can't micromanage us the way they like to when we're working remotely. So remote work, with the exception of, a few things, industries, is kind of going away. But I would love to find some remote work if I could, any work from home opportunities on top of what I'm doing. But yeah, I mean, that's the huge benefit to working from home or, not commuting to work, is that you don't have to have a car, really. I hope you get it, JP. Like, a shout out to anybody who can get remote work or, work at home. Because I think the pandemic has taught us that that is better for most of us. We can, it's nicer to spend more time at home. It's nicer to spend more time with your family, be more available. But the powers that be just don't like that. Yeah. No, I know. And yeah, a 40-mile commute, that's too much, really. Um, I know people that do it, but it would make me miserable. I'm pretty productive at home usually. I can probably get more done at home than I could in an average workplace. I get too easily distracted in the workplace. There are too many things going on usually, and it's easy to get sidetracked. But when I'm at home and I get in the zone, I can get a lot of things done. So it would be better for me for a lot of reasons, not just because my body's wearing out and I'm slowly dying, well, more rapidly dying now, I guess. Um, but I don't know. I like working without distractions. Um, it is still possible to zone out. I do it, but yeah, I've been thinking about it, Shane. If I had a pretty dress, I might be standing on the corner right now because I still got to raise 194 bucks by Thursday at noon. I got hollered at by a hooker today. She's like, "Are you Mason?" I was like, "No." She's like, "Can I have $1?" It's like, "No." She's like, "Are you sure you're not Mason?" It's like, I can't be sure, but I think I'm not. And she's like, "You want to go somewhere with me?" I was like, "Maybe some other time." Mm. Well, I mean, we should get to keep our working hours reasonably low, right? I mean, we have lives outside of our jobs, the things that we have to do for money. So we shouldn't have to spend every waking hour earning a living, I don't think. That's a good point there, Lisa. I think a lot of professional athletes make entirely too much money because at the end of the day, they're playing a game. I mean, they are professionals. They are, among the best in the world at what they do, but are they worth, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars? I don't think so. I mean, let them get their endorsement deals and stuff, maybe, but like, yeah, I think professional athletes make entirely too much money. Yeah. Well, pretty much, you got to make what they're saying recently on the news, or I was reading it, um, actually, that the average American has to make $94,000 a year to live comfortably, or just like just live an average life. Basically, you got to make $94,000 a year, and that seems a little ridiculous. I've made quite a bit more than that at times in my life, um, and it seemed like an awful lot of money then, But now for just the average life, you got to make $94,000 a year. That seems a little ridiculous to me. That used to be, it wasn't very long ago that was a lot of money. Remember that? You think you can help me put that together in 36 hours, baby love? But great to see you, by the way. I'd have an OnlyFans page if I thought anyone would subscribe to it. I was talking with Shane about that the other day. I would love to do that, actually. I would love to get a part-time job, Dustin, working at Allegiant Stadium or the new A's stadium that they're building or something, just going for a game and working for a few hours. When I was a kid growing up, there's a couple of friends of ours that worked at Dodger Stadium, and they would just go. They'd get to hang out and enjoy the game, but still just work for the time of the game. And it was like the right amount, like good way to supplement the income. Yeah, exactly, Lisa. Like here in Las Vegas, if you want to park within a quarter mile of Allegiant Stadium to watch a Raiders game, the parking is $100. And it's like we're already paying $400, $500 each for tickets. Why you gotta charge us $100 for parking too? It's crazy. It's out of control. But I mean, they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it if people didn't pay it. So I mean, people have to stop paying for this. People paid $41,000 to go see Adele here in Las Vegas. I think Adele is fantastic. She's a wonderful singer. But if I were freaking Jeff Bezos rich, I would not pay $41,000 for a ticket to anything. That's obscene. Oh, potato chips. That sounds awesome. I haven't eaten today, so I'm starving. I would love something to eat, but I'm broke and right behind the eight ball, so I don't dare spend any money that I could put towards rent on food. But potato chips sound pretty freaking good right now. Tacos tomorrow? I don't know, Shane. Maybe if I can sell a bike. I seriously need to make $194 just to pay rent. And that seems like kind of a long shot right now. I'm not going to rule it out, but the clock is ticking, and don't seem to be too many ways that the money can come in right now when my Uber account's not active and nobody's buying anything, and I'm dying of cancer, so I can't hold a job. Oh, really, Lisa? That's insane. You know, they say that that's going to happen to a lot of us in the near future. You know, many jobs are going to be taken over by robots and AI, and that's a shame. I mean, people need jobs. People, I think, will do a better job in many cases. I don't know. Yeah, John, I know. It's crazy. It is exactly supply and demand um is is kind of the key here. Like if people didn't pay it, they wouldn't charge it. But too many people come to Las Vegas with entirely too much money, and I know you know all about this, John. Um, you know, I know you're doing very well for yourself, but I know that you and your line of work have dealt with some serious high rollers over the years. So I know you know firsthand the kind of money that pours into this town. But it's hard for people like me. You know, I would love to go to a Raiders game. I used to go to Raiders games at the Coliseum back in the day when you could get nosebleed seats for like $12, you know? So I don't suppose it's ever going to go like that again around here, but uh you know, like you're saying, they wouldn't charge it if people didn't pay it. What is Cash App? JPL Rides? I use Cash App. It's like PayPal. Just a way to send money among friends and everything. Really? You don't use Cash App? Slow 49 got me using Cash App. Ah. Yeah, I know. Well, thank you, Shane. I hope we don't have bad weather tomorrow. It's supposed to be cold anyway. It's only supposed to get up to what, like 56 tomorrow or something. So, it's going to be a very unspring-like bike ride tomorrow if it doesn't rain. But thank you for offering tacos, Shane. That's mighty kind of you. That's not too bad, Dustin, but I think that that's still too much. I mean, I'm used to Vegas ticket prices, and hearing about those all the time, so nothing less than that sounds like too much anymore, but it is too much. And I remember I was seeing an old video of Kurt Cobain a while ago. They're interviewing Nirvana back in the day, talking about Madonna. Madonna was charging $75 for tickets or something to her concerts, and this was in the early 90s. And they were just like, uh, Kurt Cobain and Dave Grohl and Chris Novoselic were just completely in awe. It's like, how could somebody, it's a concert, how in the hell can they charge $75? You know, and it's like we felt bad charging $25 at one of our shows one time, is what they were saying. It's like, wow, you know. Uh, but people will pay, and if people will pay, the people who pull the strings will collect the money. And the beer, yeah, forget about getting drinks at sporting events or concerts, John. I know that, like, concerts especially, the drinks are insane. Yeah, exactly, Lisa. That's what I'm thinking. Wow. Yeah, I mean, too many things have gotten maybe a little bit too automated. And especially if it puts somebody out of a job, that's ridiculous. I'm afraid we're going to be seeing a lot more than that, more of that, and I feel bad. I have a Cash App link on my YouTube page, JPL Rides, uh, Cash App and PayPal. I like them both. I've been using PayPal a lot longer, but Cash App is really good too. I'm not gonna lie, it's very handy. Um, but if you're thinking about sending anything, JP, that's very kind of you. Uh, I wish I didn't need any help. I never want to impose on any of you guys for anything. And especially JPL Rides came and treated the buffet over the weekend. We went to the Garden Court at Main Street Station, and it was delightful. But I mean, he shelled out a lot for that, and I still appreciate that very much. But yeah, I don't know my Cash App actual link, but it's on my YouTube page. Wow, like that, Lisa? That's terrible. I hear about a lot of that too. About, like it's just people can't get access to the building that they work in anymore, and that's how they find out that they don't have a job. And that's like, how did we get like this? Wow. Yeah, that's kind of pricey, Dustin. That's just, that's downright disrespectful, really, Lisa. Um, somebody that's been coming to work doing their job, and to, have it end like that. That's just, it's really bad. And I don't know how it got like this, but I feel for anybody that's happening to, and I'm afraid we're going to get a lot more of that. I don't know if you can post the link that way, Shane, because of how YouTube always highlights my name. I don't know, but thanks for that anyway. But it's on my main page, my main YouTube page, the about or whatever. Well, thanks for being here with us live, Lisa. We do this a lot. Uh, See, that's terrible. Um, Speaking of the whole boat thing, like a doctor who saved my dad when he had heart failure, a doctor who's a complete piece of crap, actually, says he had to schedule my dad for like 9 appointments because he needs to get a new boat. He can't afford the new boat that he wants. So my dad, who almost died at the hands of this numbnuts because of American healthcare, um, said he needs my dad to come to a bunch of unnecessary appointments so that he can afford the boat that he wants. Um, greed. Greed has taken over, and human decency is not what it was, to say the least. I don't know. Well, usually when politicians have to step down, it's because they've done something. So I mean, But yeah, I mean, you could lose an election or something, but that's the nature of politics. That's kind of different. Wow, that's incredible, Lisa. But yeah, exactly. JPL rides. We are at the mercy of a billionaire pissing contest right now. Well, there ought to always be term limits, and there should probably be age limits, let's be honest, when it comes to politics. I mean, I'm 48 years old and I'm not as sharp as I was 10 years ago. So I can't even imagine what I'm going to be like when I'm 80, should I ever be so fortunate to live so long, which is tremendously unlikely. Oh, wow. Lisa, barely. I can barely see that. Actually, that's cool though. But if we're being honest about the age and term limits thing, like I think either of our choices for president in this last election were both too old. Like, sorry, you guys are a little too far past your prime, perhaps. You know, like, why don't young people want to be president anymore? Or, you know, I don't know. But there are a lot of people that are entirely too old to be in politics still, I think. Like senators and congressmen, especially, there should be term limits. They shouldn't get to die in there um, necessarily. It's just, I don't know. Well, you raise an interesting point there, Dustin. Um, you know, a lot of people are interested in being with someone for what that person is able to do for them, and I would never be involved with someone for that reason. I had plenty of opportunities to when I made lots of money, but you know, if you don't love me when I'm broke, you don't get me when I'm rich. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can't imagine things are going to go very well with the economy in the foreseeable future. JPL rides. I think a lot of factors are kind of working against it right now. Well, you see, there you go, John. And I mean, John, to use John Beckman as a for instance here, John Beckman is very much capable. He's as good as there ever was, I'm sure. I mean, I know the guy personally, um, and he's all there. But, you know, yeah, would you want to be president, John, 20 years from now? I just think, you know, I mean, I have respect for my elders. You know, my dad is the age of our current president, but I wouldn't vote for my dad to be president right now because he's an old man. He's the greatest guy I know, but still, yeah, see, John, exactly. I mean, I think you'd have to be a little delusional to think you could be a good president at the age of 80, you know? I'm just saying. Like, I would never. That is true. I mean, you get life experience as you go. But I mean, I don't know someone in their late 70s, early 80s, for instance, that's as sharp as they were when they were my age. You know, it just doesn't go like that. I think, young people, though, just have no interest in leadership type roles anymore, it seems like, with some exceptions, like leading industries and whatnot. But, like, young people just don't seem to be interested in politics anymore. When I went to said prep school in Central Florida when I was a kid, when my dad would work on Disney projects and we would be away from California. Uh-oh, I lost the thing there for a minute. Um, yeah, I mean they were grooming like young Republicans basically in this school that I went to, and some of these people are going to be congressmen and senators and everything else one day, and I think some of them probably were. Uh, so there was a lot of that, like in the '80s when I went to grade school, at a fancy prep school in Orlando, for a little while. That's what you saw a lot of. Like these kids are going to be leaders one day. But now, like today's younger generations just don't seem to have any interest in it. Yeah, well, I mean, that's it. Some people just refuse to let go, John. And I hope I'm never one of those. It's very unlikely that I'm going to live to old age. But if I do, I'm going to be able to let go of certain things. Yeah, not worth the headache, exactly. Nobody wants to put themselves through that anymore. It doesn't appeal to younger generations. Oh, well, thank you, Lisa. Appreciate that. Shout out to him. Well, maybe so, or maybe the whole thing, like, I mean, there are these political movements and things that just kind of come and go. History has taught us that nothing of the MAGA persuasion, for instance, we don't normally discuss these things on this channel, but I'm not, promoting one side or the other at this point. I'm just saying things like MAGA, for instance, tend to run their course. They never last. There are different versions of, political parties, evolutions of political parties along the way, but like nothing ever lasts except for Republicans and Democrats, it seems like, are the only constant. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what the future holds, I guess. Yeah. There you go, Shane. See, and 200 years, or not 200 years later, 100 and some odd years later, they're still saying the South will rise again, but I wouldn't count on it. Um, so, I mean, the party died, the Confederacy died, and that's just kind of the nature of, I don't know. I mean, politics is kind of an interesting subject in general. I'm sick of it myself, and I don't trust anyone who would involve themselves in it anymore. Because I can't imagine that anybody's doing it for us anymore. They're doing it for them. So I don't know. The whole thing is just kind of ridiculous. But the division is what really upsets me. You know, what a lot of people, it's easy for a guy with a psychology PhD to say, I can read this like a book, but I don't know. We shouldn't delve into this anymore, I don't think. Yeah, maybe so, Shane. Exactly, JPL writes. Why can't we just do our thing without getting hassled all the time? But it's the division. Let me go ahead and finish my thought on this. We're easier to beat if we're divided. That's what I think too many people are not realizing right now. Is they're not doing this. This isn't happening for your benefit. You didn't choose a side for your benefit. You chose a side for their benefit. And I choose not to buy into it myself because I don't want to be divided. I don't want to be told who I can be friends with or not anymore because of beliefs and affiliations. When we're fighting each other, we're a lot easier to defeat. And they're going to use that to their advantage one day. Remember, I said that. Wow, we've been going for a while. I appreciate you guys hanging out for this time. And everybody who came along for the ride earlier, just kind of a short ride around the neighborhood. We'll try to do some tomorrow. It looks like maybe Shane is, and shout out to Shane for that. I appreciate that. Well, it's nice to have you here for it, Irving. Oh man, I have got to raise some money in a hurry. I don't know how I'm going to do it. It's eating away at me, guys. I hate to dwell on this, but I'm in a really bad spot right now, and I just need to find some money out of thin air in the very near future. It's going to be really bad. And I just don't know if there are any strings that I can pull that maybe I haven't thought of, but like the clock is ticking, the walls are closing in, and I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. But it's not over yet, but I just hate feeling this way. I hate being in this situation when I'm bleeding to death and I have no energy and I'm trying everything that I can try and doing everything that I can do. And I'm still coming up short. Weather permitting, yeah. Fingers crossed for some good weather tomorrow. Please and thank you. Yeah, house divided cannot stand. Exactly. Why would our own government be working so hard to divide us? And I try not to get too far into it. I don't trust any of them anymore. So, I don't care who you support. I just don't want to fight with you about it. Remember how we all used to be friends before any of this, recent last decade or so political nonsense, and we could all just hang out and watch football games and whatever together, and it was fine. So I say we should all just be friends again. We should put our differences aside and go back to the way we used to be. Well, I mean, well, that's exactly it. You know, having worked in a place with secrets, the Kennedy Space Center, before, I know kind of how they operate. We're only seeing the things that they want for us to see, and there's a lot happening that most of us don't see at any given time. But that's, that's nothing new. There you go, John. Exactly. You know, when there's nothing to laugh about anymore, then life really isn't worth living anymore. People do disagree on silly things, but the powers that be keep like stoking the fire, you know? Like be mad. How are you going to let this happen to you? And the people on the other side are so stupid and whatever else, and I hate that. I really hate that. And so many arguments are about such ridiculous things that don't really matter anyway. Man, I'm getting no notifications about the things that I have listed for sale. This is not good at all. I don't know what to do. Can I lie and donate plasma? I mean, I think it's probably in the system. They're going to be like, wait, you've got cancer and colitis. You can't. I don't know. I might try anyway. Is it safe? Is it safe for, like, is it safe for them to use my plasma? I think their concerns are I'm a risk for them having the health problems that I do. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. But, if if we've worn each other out, then they can just come along and push us over, basically. I don't know, Dustin. I don't know the whole story on that, but if it's one thing I've learned about working as a contractor for a government agency, it's that, they'll try to make you believe what they want you to believe. Hold on a second here. Oh, wow. Amy. Thank you, Amy. If you're in here, thank you so much. Amy just sent me $49 on PayPal, which is incredibly kind. We're closing the gap. Thank you, Amy. Thank you so much. Let me make sure I read that right. Yeah, Amy. She said her $50 Bitcoin portfolio will never recover. Thank you so much, Amy. I don't know if you're in the chat right now or the stream, but thank you so very much for your kind and generous donation to the program. We're closing the gap now. It's like still a long ways to go, but if somebody comes and buys a bike or I don't know. I can't predict the future. I don't know how this is going to play out exactly, but thank you again, Amy, very much. A mortgage takes 30 years to pay off. If you rob a bank, you might only get 10 years. You know what? I you know, that's That's kind of a smart way to look at it. Um, that kind of reminds me of that guy. You know, the guy that streaked at the Super Bowl or the playoffs game or whatever, and it was a Super Bowl, I guess, and he bet $50,000 that somebody was going to streak at the Super Bowl, and then he did it and collected huge on his bet. So yeah, if you rob a bank, you might get away with it, but if you get caught, yeah, you get what? Yeah, 15 years at the most if it's your first offense. Um, but yeah, a mortgage will take you at least 30 years to pay off now. A lot of people refinance and get a second and everything else. So, I mean, people are buying homes in their 30s these days and might still be paying for them when they're 80. So, yeah, why not just rob a bank, I guess? Amy is always so supportive, and thank you, Amy, so much. Yeah, well, the farts are ruining the ozone layer, you know, and there's really nothing we can do about that short of stopping farting, but then you'll spontaneously combust. If you saw that South Park, if you hold in farts for too long, it'll make you spontaneously combust. So that's probably not good either. I can't imagine that's good for the ozone layer. Yeah, you can meet lots of nice fellas, Fireball Kid, make a lot of new friends, get fed 3 times a day, get to go out and play basketball in the yard and stuff. Sounds pretty good to me. Yeah, just don't use a gun. There you go, John. That makes sense. That's the way to do it. Yeah, true. Plants need big time CO2, but there seems to be no shortage of that on Earth lately. But thank you again, Amy. I don't know if you're here or not in the stream, but thank you so very much. But all of you guys are always very supportive, and I appreciate that. I mean, even if you just come and hang out, it helps. She's not in here. I don't know. Well, let it be known that Amy went out of her way to help me in my time of need, and I appreciate that very much. And now we have a smaller gap to close. And Fat Lou came and helped out last week. I'm having a bad couple of weeks, and I expect things to turn around, but there's a limit to what I seem to be able to do anymore. And if I go out and push myself hard like I often do in bike rides and such like that, those sorts of things, um, I need a lot more recovery time than I used to. And I'm not happy about that. I don't like expiring. It's not a good feeling, and I don't recommend it. Well, I appreciate you saying that, John, and I get by with a little help from my friends, and I appreciate all of you for that. Huh. Well, that's interesting, Dustin. China's doing an awful lot of things that are probably going to put them ahead of us economically in the not too distant future. I mean, they're really working on just advancing their people and their culture a lot more so than we are. So, well, it's great to have all you guys here. It's an honor to get to share these chats and these streams with you. You guys are the best, and I would be so lost without you. You guys are my therapy, and selfishly benefit from this a lot. But I'd like to think that everybody kind of enjoys, the chats that we have here under the right circumstances when I'm not being a crybaby about being poor and dying of cancer. But, I mean, it's mostly positive here. I always try and keep it that way. I hope we get some good weather and we can all enjoy a nice bike ride tomorrow. Well, I know you guys enjoy each other, and I think that's great too. I mean, we're all friends. We've all come together. We all do our thing. We have our talks. We enjoy spending time. We see each other on other people's channels. We're a group. So shout out to each and every one of you. You guys are completely awesome, and I would absolutely not continue to exist without you. I wouldn't have made it this far. Honestly, you guys are my strength. You guys give me a reason to keep going. Your positivity and just the way you treat each other here in these chats is just so inspiring. And it's just like I am so blessed to get to know you guys and spend time with you. Yeah. Oh, Lisa, glad you're here and thank you. Feel free to lurk. Absolutely. Lurkers are a part of this team. So we love the lurkers here on this channel. Feel free to lurk anytime. Oh, that's wonderful. She got her channel back. That's so good that it didn't take too long. I hope there was no damage done or anything lost because she's such a sweetheart. Anybody that would ever go after her or her channel, her accounts, is pretty screwed up. So I'm glad that it seems to be working out, I guess, Paula, for her. But it's terrible that it would happen in the first place. I don't know, Dustin. Guess guess we're running out of places for it to go. Maybe. Oh, awesome, Lisa. I am too, and I hope, they say it might rain tomorrow. I hope it's done by tomorrow evening. I hope it's dry enough to go out and do a bike ride, and it'd be lovely to have you along with us, Lisa. Um, I don't know if you've ever done a Wednesday night ride with us before, but it's quite an experience to be a part of in person. But like I hope you guys enjoy it via live stream as well. Yeah, she is. Yeah, I mean she's such a sweetheart, such a decent, genuine person, and for anybody to attack her, Irving, is just it's cruel and completely unnecessary. All right. No, Paula, And we got to do Dustin's other channel. We got to do John's other channel. Hold on. Uh-oh, hold on a minute here. I'm getting notified. Oh, wow, Brent. Brent came through with $8 in PayPal. Brent Sutton, didn't know you were here. Or, like, Brent will just come out of left field sometimes with a random PayPal donation. Thank you so much, buddy. Brent Sutton, everybody. And Amy Snyder. And as per, you're you're a moderator now, Lisa, as per Paula's suggestion. But you know what that means, Paula? You know, if you vouch for somebody and they screw up or anything, we might have to whack you out. I'm just saying. I'm just kidding, of course, but yeah. And hold on, what John's other account? John, I don't for some reason you're not a moderator on this one, so I'll fix that right now. Are we forgetting anybody? I don't know. We'll be adding more moderators as time goes on. If you didn't get it this time, just hang in there. Oh, okay. Well, Lisa, glad to have you on board. Glad you've been around, and glad to have you in the chats now. And um, Paula suggested that you be a moderator, so based on her recommendation, you are now a moderator. But thank you so much for being here. Yeah, Irving, I guess, was kind of quiet for a while. We'd hear from him every now and then in the beginning. And now, now Irving's a close personal friend. And he's done the Wednesday bike ride, and we've hung out and done cool Vegas things together. And Mike, of course, too. Yeah, Mike started getting a little friendlier, and now Mike is a close friend of mine, and we've hung out and done the bike ride and other things. But thank you, Lisa, and I'm glad you're chatting now. Yeah, that's kind of how it starts, though. I mean, we formed kind of this group of friends, and it all starts with, somebody popping into the chat and saying something, I guess. I don't know, Dustin. That's interesting, too. Something to think about. But I'm so glad that all of you guys are a part of this. And I'm very grateful that we all found each other and came together like this. That's the thing that I love most about YouTube, I guess, is just, the people that I've met and get to interact with. It's such a good thing. You absolutely should, Mike. As just being silly, and you guys have heard me say this before. If an idiot like me can do it, then an idiot like you can probably do it too. No, but seriously, Mike, you should. I know you've been talking about moving here for a long time. I think you should if you're able to work it out. And I think you would have a great Vegas channel. So I would very much encourage you to do so. There you go. But yeah, I dreamed of moving here for a very long time before I actually did, and then I did, and I have no regrets. I'm so happy that I moved to Las Vegas and started a YouTube channel some years later. Yeah, I mean, Mike's a likable guy. I would assume that his channel is going to go very well. So I would really strongly encourage Mike to move here as soon as he's able. I know it's going to be, a couple of months or so still at least. Um, but, I think Mike would have a very interesting channel as well. I don't know. Things to think about. Wow. Yeah, been a while, I guess, Dustin, but hopefully, yeah, it's crazy about the whole passport thing now. I'm gonna have to renew mine at some point, I guess, but love to meet up with you at some point, Dustin. Maybe I can get up there if you can't get down here. I'm still planning to make it up that way at some point before I die, God willing. I don't like to fly anymore myself. I'm not sure if I'd get on an airplane anymore, honestly. I've flown dozens of times or more. I don't know. I've flown a lot. I mean, just like the normal traveling and then like DJ stuff and everything. Um, I really don't enjoy it anymore myself, and I really don't feel too safe on an airplane these days. And it's just like it's so unfriendly anymore. It seems like. Remember, I was watching them. I was talking with my dad about this the other day about the movie Airplane. Remember from like very early '80s, I guess. Funny movie with Leslie Nielsen. Um, I watched both of them the other day. Actually, they were on TV, and I love both of those movies. But remember when flying used to be kind of like an event, and people would dress up, and they served you a nice meal, and you were treated well, and you had enough leg room and stuff like that. And now you just don't get any of that anymore. So I don't know. I don't like to fly. I'm not afraid to fly necessarily. I just think it's kind of just too unpleasant now. Yeah, I know Irving does a whole lot of driving. But don't you love that movie? I mean, I think it's hilarious. I've always loved Airplane and Airplane 2. Just those kinds of movies really make me laugh. Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, if you got the time, I suppose a train is a cooler way to travel anyway. I really enjoy riding on trains, if we're being honest. It's not the fastest way to get there, that's for sure, but well, unless you're in like depends where you are. Some places have some pretty fast trains, but around here it's not going to get you anywhere in a hurry, but it's a pretty good way to travel, I think. The Amtrak doesn't come through Vegas anymore, which is kind of disappointing to me. I was thinking that might be a good way to get places where I'd like to go and do rides and stuff. Um, but that's not an option anymore. Yeah, high speed train is coming. It's not going to be cheap. Um, but it is going to be a pretty good way to get there. Yeah, I don't remember what movie that was, Dustin. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, 2028. And Mike's working on that. Our pal Mike is working on that, actually. The Bright Line or whatever. It's about time. They've been promising that thing for decades. And now I guess it's finally going to happen. And thank goodness. I mean, it's going to ease a lot of congestion. And it's going to be a way better way for a lot of people to travel to and from Vegas from Southern California and vice versa. I hope I'm around long enough to ride that thing, honestly, because I've been pretty excited about it. Oh, yeah, the TWA plane crash movie. I know what you're talking about. I just don't remember what it's called. Oh, man, I'm sleepy. Thank you again, Dustin and Amy. I don't know if anybody has sent anything in Cash App because I don't know if my notifications are on since my phone updated. Like, I haven't been getting Cash App notifications, but the PayPal ones are still coming through. So we're a little closer now. Let's see. We got another $57. That's helpful. That's like we're closing the gap, and thank you very much, guys. Let's see. It's going to be cooler tomorrow with a 20% chance of rain currently. I'm just checking the weather right now. Yeah, they'll let you take your bikes on the Bright Line, which I think is cool. Should I be around in that many years and still am able to ride a bicycle, um, I would love to do that. I'd love to just, for however long, just get on the train and go and ride somewhere else. Yeah, I think you're right, Shane. One of those. But the bright line can't come soon enough, honestly. Oh, really? Well, if you did a Cash App JPL rides, I appreciate it very much. I have not received any notifications. It depends on which way you go. Like if you're coming from San Diego, I think you're going to encounter a lot more dirt and sand. But I don't know. Hold on a second. Well, I don't know. I can't click out of that screen right now. I don't have any Cash App notifications. If anybody did send anything in Cash App, thank you very much. I don't think I'm getting the notifications now. I can't check it on my laptop. I can only check Cash App on my phone, and if I do that while I'm live streaming, it's going to cut the stream. So I'm showing notifications for PayPal, and thank you very much to Amy and Brent for the PayPal donations. But if anybody did send anything to Cash App, thank you so much. But I guess I'm not getting the notifications at the moment. I'm going to have to go check that out. But anyway, I guess we'd better wrap it up. I know it's getting pretty late for some of you guys. It's getting late over here too. It's way past 9:15. It's way past my bedtime. On a school night. Yeah, long stream tonight. And sorry, I was kind of a bummer for some of it, guys. But I mean, I don't know. Like sometimes for me, things get a little heavier than I can handle, and I got to unload, and I'm sorry. I don't mean to dump any of these things on you guys. I got to assume it's all going to work out somehow. I'm trying to push forward as best I can here. But, well, it'd be great to see you, JP, and everybody. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm going to try. I still got a bit of a gap to close. I'm going to try and sell a bike tomorrow. That'll help a lot. I got to go check on that too. See if anybody's looking anymore. I mean, people were looking before I started the live stream, but nobody had favorited either of the bikes yet to where they're probably going to go back, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But well, thank you, Irving. I feel a bit better now. I'm a little less stressed out than I was. I mean, it's still just too much, but you guys are so great, and I appreciate you so very much, and thank you for putting up with me, but thank you for being here and just being the awesome people that you are. And I enjoy spending this time with you so very much, and I really don't know what I'd do without you. So tomorrow, fingers crossed for good weather tomorrow night for a bike ride, and I sure do look forward to spending that time with you if you're available. But also, maybe during the day, depending on how things go, I gotta move and shake. I gotta figure some things out. So we'll see. I don't know. Could go live for a while. We'll see. We'll see what the day holds. So it'd be great to see you, of course, if you're available. Thank you, JPL Rides. Appreciate you, and everybody. Thank you guys so much for everything. Any PayPal donations or Cash Apps. I know for sure the PayPals were at least Amy and Brent, and I appreciate you guys. Brent Sutton and Amy Snyder, thank you. And anybody that's done Cash Apps, I can't check until after the stream, but thank you very much. So anyway, I guess we better wrap it here. Amy, thank you so much. Again, I appreciate you. You guys are really helping me to close the gap here, and I'd be really lost without you. Renee was here earlier, actually. Dustin. Usually we get one or the other in a stream. But it was Renee earlier, and shout out to her. Shout out to the O's, of course, always. They've done a lot to help, and they're wonderful people who I've met and hung out with. And are very close friends now. So, but shout out to all you guys, and thank you so much for everything, and just taking the time, if nothing else. Anybody who just came and hung out, I appreciate that very much. And I always love getting to spend this time with you. So do please take care of yourselves, guys. Have a wonderful Wednesday. I'm going to work on having a good one myself, and maybe I see you during the day if you're available, or maybe we do a bike ride. Hopefully we at least get to do the bike ride. Fingers crossed for good weather. But anyway, have a wonderful Wednesday, guys. Take care of yourselves, and I look forward very much to seeing you again real soon. Well, that's good to hear. I appreciate that, and good night, Lisa and Amy. Thanks. That's a nice way to put it, and I appreciate you saying that. But anyway, guys, I won't keep you up any longer. Take care of yourselves. Be well. And I will see you again real soon.